I wanna be the very best. Like no one ever was. Catch them is my real test. Up on the mic stand. To train them is my cause. Hey, Connor, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. And just like diseases carried over by European settlers, I'm ready to catch them all. That's right. That's right. We're talking about Pokemon on this episode of 100. What's the name of our show?
100% worse.
The show that gets better every day. Let's roll that intro.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Presenting Podcast Extravaganza 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day. Now accompanied by interpretive dance.
Well, that's right. I am Graham Ganal.
I'm Connor Hughes.
And that is Connor Hughes.
Yeah, and that's Graham Ganal.
This is 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day. That's right. We're taking everything in the whole world individually and making it better one thing at a time. And today, we're under P for Pokemon. That doesn't mean that we've made it alphabetically all the way there. We jump around.
Well, it was Paperclip and then Pokemon.
Paperclip, then Pokemon. That's right. I guess next week is Ping Pong?
Oh, no. Well, no, Pizza was like a lot further.
Well, that was P-I.
On. Yeah.
P-I, P-O, P-Q, P, what's the next vowel? O-U, P-U, Punisher.
Punisher.
I guess
Marvel's the Punisher.
I guess we're making Marvel's the Punisher better on next week's. But that's not that's not today's topic. No, we're talking about Pokemon. We're talking about Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Pokemon, the most famous of them
Pikachu.
all. Yeah, Detective Pokemon. I believe is coming out soon.
Yeah. It actually looks like a good movie.
It actually strangely and surprisingly looks very good. I really hope that Ryan Reynolds, the entire time that he's on set, for that movie, anytime anybody tries to speak to him, they're like, "Hey, Ryan, you want anything from craft services?" And he's just like, "Ryan." Like, "Okay, Ryan, you all ready for this shot?" Ryan. I'm sure it's gonna put a strain on his home life when he gets home.
Ryan.
His wife is just like, your daughter misses you, and he's like, "Ryan."
Oh dear. Oh jeez.
I guess that's the number one way that we can make Pokemon better is by freeing Ryan Reynolds of this terrible curse.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Nobody knew that was in the contract except the producers. But nobody pays attention during the pitch. That's what I've learned from Script Notes.
Yeah. Oh, Script Notes, the John August podcast?
Yeah. I started listening to that this week.
It's pretty good.
You may not know this, listeners, but we really like podcasts.
Okay. Pokemon.
Yeah.
Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee came out.
Okay.
They did something kind of cool where you now travel with your Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
like, they're not in the Pokeballs. They're out.
Oh, they're out.
So you can have
Finally.
So you can have like Pikachu running around, or like if you have like a big one, like what's the tiger's
Snorlax?
name?
Oh,
what's the tiger's name?
I don't know the tiger. I should preface this. What is your kind of overall level of Pokemon knowledge?
So I like Pokemon.
Okay.
I have played Soul Silver, Fire Red,
Soul Silver. That was
Red,
the Fantastic Four
Yellow,
movie, the second one, I believe.
Black
Rise
and
of the
White.
Wait.
Rise of the Soul
Soul
Silver.
Remember that movie Rise of the Soul Surfer where Norin Rad lost an arm to a shark? And people say the Fantastic Four franchise doesn't deserve another reboot. So you've played a few.
I've played a few. I honestly haven't beat any of them. I haven't completed a single one. And that's just to like I'll get mildly far into them to get a lot of stuff. But once I get to a certain point, I kind of feel like starting over, and then like with like a new composition and seeing if it's any better. And like I just don't really get any far. I don't really get anywhere.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, let's see. As far as playing Pokemon, I think the only Pokemon game that I've ever owned is Leaf Green. I have played Leaf Green extensively.
Yeah, you have it loaded up into your...
That's it. That's true. If I were to reach over right now and turn on my Game Boy Advance SP, it would load up Leaf Green. But overall, my Pokemon knowledge is not great. I mean, I know the main ones, and I understand what Pokemon is pretty comprehensively. However, I would not describe myself as an expert. So obviously this means we're the most qualified people to talk about this. Just as we're the most qualified people to talk about really anything. Like I think one week we talked about money, and neither one of us has money.
True.
And we made that better.
I think we talked about Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and
neither one of Ninja Turtles.
No, neither one of us is turtle-esque.
We've talked about Jeff Goldblum. Neither one of us are Jeff Goldblum.
That's true. Neither one of us is Jeff Goldblum. We did have, going back to turtles, I believe we did used to have a studio turtle.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
Turtleino.
yeah, poor little Turtleino.
Turtleino was great.
Rest in peace, little guy.
Yeah. Amazing soup, though. So,
oh.
Well, how do you eat a studio elephant? One studio bite at a time.
Okay.
I'm getting mean looks from Tortellino.
He's not happy.
The Tortellino is restless. Remember that Gary Larson compendium, the Far Side Gallery 16. The studio elephant is restless.
No, but okay.
No.
Sorry. Talking about
go ahead.
Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Sure.
They have the Pokemon Travel With You out now, and that got me thinking. Got me thinking specifically about the Pokeball.
Mm-hmm. Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yes.
You know how I always ask you before interrupting.
Oh,
you know how that's always a thing that I do.
Thank you. You're very courteous.
Of course. Yeah, because I remember in the old days, if you had a lot of Pokemon and you couldn't afford the Pokeballs, you just had to wear cargo pants. They'd just be stuffing Raichus in your pockets.
Maybe a backpack of a Geodude or a duffel bag of a Geodude that you kind of just like
a bowling bag. I think Geodude goes in a bowling bag pretty well.
Except for his arms kind of stick out.
This bag is so strong that it carries itself. I would genuinely love to own a bowling ball that had arms that came out of the sides after you bowled.
Paddling the ground. Oh, jeez. I just put my mic stand.
Just propelling it across the... Because you know what? It would first of all be a very good substitute for kind of those like silly bowling pin animations that always happen whenever you go bowling.
I was just about to talk about that. Yeah, like the
very real
stuff
life
from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Or like 2 seconds after they made the first 3D modeling software, they're like, let's use this for bowling.
Let's not use this to, to like aid our healthcare professionals in any way. Let's not use this for NASA. No, let's use this for bowling.
So that like each animation has like 8 polygon counts.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like a few colors. Some of them are hand painted. It's they're so old.
Yeah. Well, I think and I know we're not fixing bowling this week, but I think one of the problems there is that the overall rules of bowling have not changed much in quite a while, and neither has the overall kind of look of the game or the equipment. So it's kind of just been some pins, a ball, some shoot. Like it doesn't go through changes like other sports, So I think you have a lot of the same.
Started with a bat and a ball and some gloves. but now you have 2 bats, a ball, 5 gloves, 3 shoes, and 27 birds.
Yeah, and then but it's 27 birds, and you only still have 1 stone. It's just a lot of bird killing in that game. It's very much like how in Foon they play mittens. It's just probably the same amount of bird killing, I would say.
Whoever hits a bird first with the baseball,
have you
wins.
seen?
Like the birds
diving in front of home plate and just getting nailed by a baseball and exploding.
It's just like feathers.
That's how I want to go out.
You have like 1 second bird, the next second just like feathers. It's horrible.
When I'm 95 years old,
you want to dive.
I want to dive in front of home plate during a Dodgers game, and just explode. I have to explode. I don't want to just get hit. Because if you're a fan, here's something you might not know about baseball. Well, you probably do know because you played, but I recently learned this. If you're a fan and you run onto the field and dive in front of the plate and you get hit with the baseball, then you have to go walk to first base.
Yeah.
They make you do that, and then you get to... Yeah. It's very hard to get a home run as a fan, but you can get a lot of base...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get a lot of walks.
After you walk to base, you can steal the other bases.
Mm-hmm.
Security will ask you to give them back because they need to put them back down onto the field afterwards.
But if you can carry a few. So speaking of Pokemon, I always wonder, like, in a real world scenario. Well, I mean, here. Okay, what are the 2 things that Snorlax is known for?
Sleeping.
Yes, and by consequence of that,
fat.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, I'll grant that. I'll grant that.
Don't know if it is a.
But by consequence of that, he blocks the road.
Oh, yeah.
So Snorlax typically is known for being asleep and for blocking the road. In a real world scenario, I mean, we live in Indiana, so we have probably some of the biggest highways, I would say.
Really?
I don't know if biggest is exactly the right word, but we are known for having a lot of kind of major highways that intersect and go through here. So that kind of means that, and of course, because my family's from California, I still call them freeways rather than highways. But I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Life on the freeway.
Life is a freeway. Avoiding toll roads all night long. I guess that's really the thing. If you say freeway in Indiana, it's like, well, yeah, what's the alternative? Because we don't really have toll roads here. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So Snorlax. Mm-hmm. So if Snorlax wanted to block one of our roads, we're talking 4-lane or more interstates. How big does Snorlax have to be? And will he break the concrete? And how's he going to get there? And how's he going to fit in Bill's PC?
What?
Or Oak's PC, or anyone's PC.
When you catch him, you can transfer him to the PC.
Yeah. Take him out of the cargo pants, put him in a PC.
That's wild. I'm like, Snorlax, come here, Snorlax, this giant thing. I'm going to hold open this, baseball-sized...
This little fishing bobber.
Just...
Yeah.
There he is. Now he's in here. And then from there, you can be like, I'm going to put it in my PC. A little flash drive pops out of the back, and you kind of plug it in and goes, dee, 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 dee. It's, please press eject before closing, otherwise your Pokemon might die. So you have to make sure you hit that every time.
Otherwise you get a corrupted Pokemon, which is basically how Team Rocket has been operating for years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, this sounds more like taking Pokemon into the real world and making it better than, using our technology to make Pokemon better. But assuming that we had that kind of thing, I mean, that's really bigger news than Pokemon, all things considered.
Yeah, Pokemon is just... Now, with that said, Pokemon are animals that can Well, I was going to say Pokemon are animals that can harness electricity and shock people, but we have eels that can do that.
We have animals that do that.
We have venom and stuff.
They are some Pokemon look eerily human, which we don't have as much in the animal kingdom.
That is true. They do have Pokemon that are on fire.
Yeah.
However, we can set animals on
We
fire.
can set animals on fire.
Pretty much the same thing.
Take a lizard, set it on fire. Now it's a Charmander.
Yeah, it's a charred salamander.
It's a charred salamander. Will Monsieur be sampling the charred salamander today?
Oh, jeez.
I think that personally, maybe that's something we can do. I know we didn't plan on this, but can we find better names for just a few? We're about to take a break, but before we do that, can we find better names for at least 3 Pokemon?
For at least 3 Pokemon?
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
the off the top of your head, I would say Geodude. What's a better name for Geodude?
I mean, we already made the bowling ball joke.
I think bowling ball muscles is pretty good.
Bowling ball muscles is how the mob refers to him as. As bowling ball muscles.
Hey, you need to talk to my boy Bowling Ball Muscles. It does sound like a name for like a bald guy who is like a bald bouncer, you know?
Yeah.
Bowling Ball Muscles.
I like it.
He wears like
it can stay.
Yeah, he wears like a gym like a gym leader badge on like a gold chain, and he's very tough. Wears a black t-shirt as well. Rock types. What is a better name for
Eevee?
Eevee?
Eevee. Cutest Pokemon ever. That's the name. The
That's
cutest.
fair enough. Yeah, Eevee's
Adorable.
pretty dang cute.
Little dorbs.
Better name for Pikachu.
Pikachu. Jerry.
Yeah, you're right. He does look like a Jerry.
He does look like a Jerry.
It definitely looks like a Jerry.
Electric Jerry.
Electric Jerry is one of the biggest new dance crazes that I can tell you about as a DJ.
Yeah, the Electric Jerry.
The Electric Jerry. How would you describe the Electric Jerry?
Oh, well, I mean, I've only done it a few times.
My weddings and stuff.
You're more so to talk about this.
Sure.
But basically, the DJ starts a song.
Yeah.
And it's,
which song do you play for the Electric Jerry?
Well, the Electric Jerry Slide.
Oh, right. Who's that by?
Who's that by? MC Doorknob.
MC Doorknob.
MC Doorknob. Is it not? Is that like a remix? Did someone else?
Well, I think I think that the one by MC Doorknob was really dull. People were saying it was really dull. And then he kind of became a standard by which to measure other dull things. They're like, oh, that's dull as MC Doorknob.
I see.
So then they remixed it. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who did the remix
Electric
then.
Jerry. Yeah.
But it starts out with this low like kind of stuff, letting people know, hey, get on the floor, get on the floor.
Yeah.
And so people kind of like, start to take off their suit jackets, start to wander out on the floor like, is this the Electric Jerry?
This is the Electric Jerry.
And they kind of stand in a circle and then start slatters, wong, 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 wong. And then you have the security guards ring up around in a line and they all pull out their tasers. And then, And then basically it's going to be yodeling cans. And then the first person to get shocked and go, is the one out in the center.
Yeah.
And so then everyone kind of dances around him as
There
that
used to be
person's going
there
wild.
used to be this thing actually in the business where we would say, all right, in just a minute we're gonna do a song. Is there anybody here named Jerry? And then if there was somebody named Jerry, they would raise their hand and be like, can we get Jerry to the middle of the dance floor? And then we would give everybody a taser except Jerry.
Oh, that's fun.
And then they would just kind of
the Electric Jerry.
Yeah.
I see where that name came from.
Not a lot of
now.
Jerrys left around these days. I don't know really what happened to them.
Well, I mean, they all died.
They did. A lot of them did. I would say
they
did
all
die
died.
from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to take an ad break now.
Okay.
And I hope that we have some really good sponsors this week. So, let's do a little acapella to get us into that ad break. You always go over one note.
Yeah, I do. Okay, our first sponsor for this week is a stick that's just a little too short.
Interesting. And what?
How
tell me more.
you need a stick, so you go out into the woods when you were a kid, and you're like, I need a stick that's like this.
Yeah.
And then you're like looking around, and you find, no, that's like really bendy and really thin. No, that's like way too big. I can't do that. And then you find the stick. Like, oh, this is almost perfectly smooth, almost perfectly round, everything, but it's just a little too short. So you
Yeah.
kind of keep it with you. You're like, maybe I can use this, maybe not.
Mhm.
As you're looking for other sticks, but it's the secondary stick.
Yeah.
The stick that's a little too short.
Yeah. Well, our second sponsor is a wizard who's looking for a new wand. So this is a very kind of a tall wizard who's looking for a new wand. So it's really more of a kind of like a want ad. So if there are any applicants, oh wait, who did you say our first sponsor was?
A stick that's just a little too short.
No way! I'm looking at my note cards right now. I can't believe these got scheduled on the same week. We have to call this wizard.
Oh, geez,
Well, actually,
yeah.
I'm sure this wizard is listening.
So hey, dude, come get your wand. We
Come
got,
get
we
your
got
wand.
one for you.
We've got a hookup for you.
Yeah.
What's that one song? There was that R&B classic about it was like a wizard and his stick. You know the one? What's the next line to that?
I don't.
He was looking in the woods, but the sticks were all too long. And it's like a wizard
I don't
and
know this
his
song.
you know this part. A wizard and his stick. Everybody knows a wizard and his stick. It's a classic.
Sorry,
A class stick, we call it in the
I
business.
haven't heard of it.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Which is kind of a thing. Like, it's becoming more of a thing because apparently I haven't heard of Rejection by Don, whatever his name is.
Well, rejected,
Dan.
but yes.
Yeah, Rejected.
He's got that other one, Rejection, where he just talks about how sad he is.
Oh. But no, like I've seen the My Spoon Is Too Big and I'm
Oh,
a
yeah,
Banana.
sure.
Nothing past that. Haven't seen
Rejected,
any
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and I think part of that is that the initial craze of Rejected, the animated film by Don Hertzfeldt. I mean, that was made in like 2000 or maybe even before.
I think.
Yeah, maybe even before that. So it predated YouTube, which meant that it kind of had a revival on the platform. Yeah. Well, that's a whole other thing. Let's do a little.
I should mention it because we
Yeah,
watched it before
We
this
did, yeah.
episode.
Well, let's do a little bit of acapella. You go ahead and lay down the drum line, and then I'll give the audience a little bit of A Wizard and His Stick.
Okay, I can't beatbox, but
Let's go. Yeah, wizard and his stick. He was looking in the woods. Sticks were all too long. Wizard and his stick. Yeah, that's how it goes. And the thing is, the original that was exactly how they sing it in the original recording. So they sounded like off key notes that I was singing, but that's actually how it is. So
yeah,
I think it's microtones, very microtonal.
yeah, it's very complex
Yeah.
piece.
So getting back to the topic at hand.
Okay,
So if you're just joining us, we're talking about Pokemon.
I don't know how you would be just joining us. That's
Well, you never know.
wild.
Well, yeah, but you never,
Click on
but
an episode, click like 30
but you never
minutes
know,
in,
you know.
be like, what's this?
Yeah. If you're just joining us, I'm Ira Glass, and we're talking about Pokemon. So, the thing is, you can catch them all, but realistically, what are we doing about storage? Because we don't have that micro shrink, put them in a
Yeah, we
Pokeball or put them in a computer technology. We don't have it.
Yeah, we don't. So how are we dealing with them? Well, cages.
Yeah, put your Pokemon in a cage.
Yep, put them in a cage. Stack the cages up, leave them in the
uh-huh.
garage.
Yeah, not great.
I mean,
Also
fine.
not
I'm kidding. by the way.
that different from
Don't-
how we kind of treat
Yeah.
our animals as a society.
Yeah, we don't.
So definitely plausible. Storage unit.
Storage unit.
That's not great either.
No, not really.
I think the problem is, with at least 150 or more to see, to be a Pokemon master, it's not really anyone's destiny unless you have a lot of kind of open land. Huge tracts of land. Someplace for your Pokemon to run around in. You have to kind of be a Caesar Milan, You gotta have, how he's got his like 156,000 dogs, but he has space for them, I feel like Ash Ketchum. Where does Ash Ketchum even live? He lives in like a suburban house, right?
Yeah, he just lives in like a
No yard.
yeah.
If it weren't for that storage system, he would just have like stacks of Charmeleons.
Well, that storage system really isn't any better than crates, is it?
it's not.
Are they
great.
sentient? Do they like not remember a theme when you put them in a Pokeball? When you store them in a computer, are they like sleeping, or do they like know?
More to the
and do
point.
they know they can't move around and they can't see and they can't feel and they can't hear or taste and they don't know what's going
Yeah.
on and it's just very scary. But they're just alone, so
Or are they,
so
like-
very alone?
or have they been shrunk down? Are they living it up like Woodstock in the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, or is it the Easter movie? Whichever one that Woodstock gets a new birdhouse and tricks it out. Is it like Snoopy's Doghouse where he has like a whole basement area, and he's got like a
so it's like
pool
a-
table and everything.
So it's like a time or like a space
it's
warp
like a-
thing where it's like
yeah, it's very TARDIS-like.
it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, for sure.
that could be cool.
I mean, there's also just the question about like if your Pokemon, typically when your Pokemon goes back into the Pokeball, like they're not in great shape. Typically when you recall a
No.
Pokemon, it's because that Pokemon has just been mangled by somebody else's, Machop or whatever.
Mhm.
And then they just have to kind of like sit curled up like a gerbil inside this very small sphere.
Maybe it is like a den, like a bigger
Yeah,
area where
sure.
they have like maybe a flat screen and some games.
Uh-huh.
So they're like they've got
Wait,
like a
What
bloody
games?
nose
What
and a
games does a Pokemon play? 'Cause this is very. See, it's all concentric circles now because they're in
Humanmon.
Humanmon.
Humanmon. But
I think it would actually be Pokehuman because the
Pokehuman?
Poke stands for pocket. So like
Poke. Yeah.
So it would be the first.
Pokehuman?
It would be Pokehume.
Pokeman. It would be Pokemon.
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 Yeah, I like Pokemon.
Yeah. They play Pokemon.
They play Pokemon.
But so like they've got a black eye and a bloody nose, but
Yeah.
at least they can chill for a
Yeah,
little bit.
they
while
just chill. Or do you think it's like to bring it back to baseball, like they
They
they-
play Madden.
they pack their arm in ice, and they just lean up and why like if Pokeballs are so great, like can you not put multiple Pokemon into a Pokeball together so they at least have like somebody to hang out with?
Yeah, I don't know. It's never explored that.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm sure I am 100% sure that at least some of our listeners know this, probably from watching the Pokemon TV show, and have a very good answer that they are yelling at us right now. So if you do have that answer, and you can tell us what the inside of a Pokeball is actually like, go ahead and tweet at us or send us an email.
are we wrapping up?
You know what?
I
I
need
think
to
we better.
talk about something right before we wrap up.
Okay, no, go by all means.
The Pokemon Zoo has no safety regulations. It's like, hey, welcome to the zoo. Yeah, sure, you can come in
Hi,
here.
welcome
walk in
to
this
the
tall
zoo.
grass. There's a tiger. You better catch it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything you said after. Hi, welcome to the zoo. Because you can't just drop that in the midst of a Ninja Sex Party fans kind of. This is like a mini convention that we have every week for Ninja Sex Party. We're both huge fans of, and you come out with "Hi, welcome to the zoo."
Sorry, but well, it's like, yeah, go in there. I don't know what's in the tall grass. It's random encounters. Have fun. We just piled a bunch of animals in the same enclosure. For
sure.
Have fun. I think it's called like Safari or something.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Pokemon Safari. I
Yeah,
don't
the Safari, I believe.
remember. Yeah.
And then they give you those horrible Pokeballs that like barely work.
Yeah.
That you have to use in the zone. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no,
Stupid.
it's not
And then they give you bait.
ideal. Yeah,
A
yeah,
young
that's-
child walks into the safari, like, here, hands a slab of meat. And child's like, thank you. Walks into the tall grass.
We just sent. We just sent a bunch of bait into the Safari Zone. Oh, yeah. And we also gave the kid some meat. The kid is the bait. That's the thing you realize when you get older. When you've played Pokemon enough times and you're going to the Safari Zone, you are the bait. You're the bait. You're the bait. These are savage animals and you're bait.
But it must be so embarrassing to be like a top level Pokemon trainer and have this little kid walk up to you and be like, I'm gonna challenge you. And you're like, that's okay, sure, like whatever. Maybe I'll pull out my second best or my third best lineup. I'll have fun with this little kid. And then the kid starts pulling out legendaries. Like, where did you get this? Like what? There's like whales and stuff. Like I got this.
Anyway, we're going to do the entire Pokerap. So let's go. Pikachu, bowling ball, Sandshrew, Diglett, bowling pin, guitar, banjo,
Cereal.
top hat, Spider-Man, Batman, ramen noodles, chopsticks, highlighter, headphones, cream soda. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Hey, but if you guys know how to actually do the Pokerap, send us an email, send us a recording of you doing the Pokerap. We would love to hear that, and we will definitely play that on the show.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Really cool.
And you can send that email to hundo@turboteenmovie.com.
That's hundo@turboteenmovie.com.
That's right. If you're not aware, turboteenmovie.com is also where you can find every episode of this show.
Yeah. It's our URL. Okay, Graham.
Yes.
Any recs for this week?
Oh, sure. So this is our latest segment. We've been doing this for the last couple of weeks. It's called Recommend, Don't Recommend. Although this week, I think that we should call it Thankful For, Not Thankful For.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So this week, I am thankful for the album Self-Care by We Are the Union, which includes the song Self-Care, which is becoming one of my favorite songs that I've heard recently. And really just one of my favorite songs overall. If you don't know We Are the Union, they are a ska band, and they are great. They're current as well.
A current ska band.
Yeah.
Like a real unicorn.
Who would have thought?
There. What's your don't recommend?
Oh, yes. So what I don't recommend, or what I'm not thankful for, is the experience of trying to play a tape without checking my volume first. My tape player. So we can go into why I play tapes at some other point. But my tape player goes really loud because it's got a speaker on it, and it has the ability to play music through that speaker at a pretty good volume. But what that means is that if I'm listening to it on the speaker, and then I leave the volume all the way up to do that, and then I plug in headphones, it's going to play at a volume that nothing should ever be listened to at. So it just
it's pretty bad. Yeah,
it's just like a bullet all the way through my brain from one ear to the other, turning it on at that point. So more of a PSA, really. Just check your volume before you play stuff on your headphones.
Play your tapes.
Yeah, before you play your tapes. Yep, all you out there with your tapes.
Okay. My recommendation, or what I'm thankful for this week, is actually Fantastic Beasts 2: Crimes of Grindelwald. Now, I need to preface this because the recent critics and all the yada yada, all the stuff and things. Sure, it might have some low points. It might not be that good, but it still was a very, very good movie in and of itself. Special effects were exactly what the magic should be. Like,
sure,
like you look at the first movie, and it's like the special effects there were just not the first Fantastic Beasts, the first Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
It was it was all right. It was good. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, for the time,
yeah, they were good. But this one really leaned into the magic can do anything.
Yeah,
and it was really good. I definitely recommend going to see it.
I did really enjoy the first one, and I love Eddie Redmayne, so I probably will go to see the second Fantastic Beasts.
And the thing that I'm not thankful for, snow.
Oh,
it snowed this week.
Well,
it's cold.
The Midwest.
It is the Midwest.
Not
and it's
sure
cold.
what you expected.
I've I grew up grown. I've grown. I don't know how to say this.
Have you? If
I've
you've grown,
lived here.
then you have.
I've lived here my whole life.
Yeah.
I still don't like it. I hate
No.
it. It's garbage.
Yeah. Well,
So I guess try to avoid snow wherever you can. If snow starts happening, move.
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 Just move.
Just
Or
move.
you can be like my family and move here from California.
Ah, yeah, that's right. You did.
What a good choice that has turned out to be. Hey, we'd like to. Hey, you want to? I don't think you've mentioned our social media, so go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we kind of cut that.
Yeah.
In between. So, you can reach us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram
Yes.
at 100% worse.
That's the number 100, the words percent and worse. And we'd like to thank Kenny Childers for doing our opening monologue, killing it week after week. And we'd like to thank you, the listener, for listening.
Yeah, thanks.
And we hope that you'll share the show around, tell a friend about it. Really is the best way that this podcast can grow. And we really rely on you for that. Also, if you would be so kind as to leave us a whatever star rating on iTunes and maybe even write a review, that would just be super of you.
Yeah, that really would help us out. But thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks so much. I've been Graham Ganal.
I've been Connor Hughes.
This has been 100% Worse.
The show that gets better every day.
Me? Eat your pizza right out of your pockets.
I forgot the closing.